The next topic we will be looking at is victimization in sexual minorities and what it is lacking. So it is lacking support and knowledge. Looking into that, the support that they are lacking are safe spaces, so places where LGBTQ members can go and feel safe and at home, and it's kind of like an escape for them if something is happening throughout the school day. Specific reporting techniques so that the whole school is on the same page and it is a safe, positive school environment. And then what we call a point person. Some schools nowadays have what we call a point person, which is somebody whose main focus is to create professional developments, create GSAs, and create safe spaces for children of the LGBTQ community. It's kind of like their go-to person who knows everything. Another big thing that K-12 schools are lacking is the knowledge about LGBTQ community and sexual orientation knowledge. They are lacking professional developments. There's not that many developments out for teachers to be able to go to and educate themselves on. And they also don't have SOGI, sexual orientation, gender identity based curriculum, because their teachers cannot go to professional developments and teach themselves. So how do you expect them to teach it in the classrooms to the students? So schools today, the goal is to create a positive and safe school climate for all students, including those sexual minorities. So some of the things we're going to be looking at of what schools today could do in order to achieve that goal, is the policies, reporting techniques, professional developments, SOGI-focused curriculum, and support zones. So the first thing we're going to look at is policies in schools today. So for the policies, the goal is to ultimately implement SOGI-focused policies and practices into the schools. And once those can be implemented, hoping that promotes the school safety and lowers the risk of bullying. So right now, the current policies that we are looking at is teachers do have the duty to include reporting bullying and harassment when it is observed. So we do have teachers out there that do report and do tell people when bullying and harassment is observed. That is their duty. But most public schools in the U.S. do not have institutionalized policies that address anti-LGBTQ bullying or promote the safety for LGBTQ students. So some policies that can be implemented to help reach this goal could be allowing a gender-neutral dress code. If you can have students have a say in the dress code that they have to wear, it can give students voice and the opportunity to show who they really are and getting them into something that they have to follow. Another policy to be implemented is allowance of participation regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. So whether this is lessons in the classroom or extracurriculars, or even right now sports is a debated topic. We're not going to get into that because there's not a lot of evidence out there. It's starting to become a brand new talked about topic, but definitely extracurriculars and lessons inside the classroom, allowing that participation regardless of your sexual orientation or gender identity. So next topic we're going to talk about is the reporting techniques. So the ultimate goal in school for reporting techniques is to have a clear and concise reporting drill, as well as promoting the school safety and in the end game, reducing the bullying. So the problems that we have right now with reporting techniques in K-12 schools in the United States is that teachers reported feeling uncomfortable when addressing sexual orientation and gender identity issues in the classroom. They also are confused on the intervention tactics when they are faced with problems with SOGI. Some effective reporting techniques that we can be implemented into the classrooms to hopefully make this better is training teachers on how to incorporate sexual orientation and gender identities issues comfortably. So more professional developments, getting them comfortable with the material. If teachers are not comfortable with the materials themselves, how do you expect them to go and teach children and make the children comfortable? And another one is having clear directions on how to report SOGI incidents available to teachers, staff, and students. So not only just informing these teachers on, hey, if you see something, if you see bullying that has anything to do with SOGI, this is how you report it. This is where you go. This is the place. This is what to do. So not only to teachers, but to staff and also to students, so that everybody is on the same page, and hopefully in the end, it reduces the bullying rates. The next topic in K-12 schools we were talking about is the professional development. So the ultimate goal of professional development for SOGI is to train teachers on SOGI-based information so that they feel more comfortable and they are ultimately more educated, and to transfer that knowledge into the classroom setting so that students become more educated and have more knowledge on SOGI-based information. The current professional development right now is that some schools around the United States do provide this. Ultimately, we want all schools to, but right now it's just some. And currently, one of the biggest barriers to implementation is the lack of professional development. Some professional development topics that you can include to K-12 schools that will help is just the basic knowledge around procedures and policies regarding SOGI. So you can take teachers, bring them in these professional developments, and hopefully they leave with more basic knowledge around what to do in these issues or if they have any problems in their classes. Inclusive learning. Hopefully this professional development, adding these in, will help inclusive learning, and it's bringing SOGI information into your classrooms and into your lessons so that you are also educating your children and your students about this, and hopefully that will lower the bullying rates and make people more empathetic. So going off of what we were just talking about is bringing in the SOGI to the classroom. We're going to look at SOGI-focused curriculum in the classrooms. So ultimately, the goal is to incorporate these SOGI activities and lessons into the classroom in order for children to be exposed. And hopefully in the long run, that creates a more positive and a more safe school environment for everybody, whether you're sexual majority, sexual minority, ultimately bringing it all up. Currently, the present curriculum, there is only same-sex education taught. There is no sexual minorities taught, only the same sex. And there is a high lack of SOGI activities and lessons in the classroom. There's also reported a discomfort in incorporating these SOGI-based lessons into the classroom from teachers. So the curriculum to be incorporated could be inclusive learning, which means we are bringing those SGIs into the lessons with us, and the children are learning from that. It could be soul lessons on SOGI, which is just like straight to the point. This is sexual orientation. This is gender identity. This is this. Or you can subtly bring SOGI into your lessons. So if it is for example, a math question, and you could say like, John and James are going on a date. You just incorporated a sexual minority into your lesson without it being the main topic. The last topic we are going to discuss is the importance of support zones. The goal that schools around the U.S. have been focusing on is creating more safe zones, as there is a deficit. Having support zones in school will ultimately create a positive and safe school environment. Current problems relating to safe zones are that less than half of schools offer social and psychological service to students that are members of the LGBTQ community. Another issue the U.S. schools are facing is that if a school does have a specific safe space, a majority of students don't know where it is or the steps to deal with SOGI issues. The curriculum that should be included into schools that can help solve these issues are encouraging student-led gay-straight alliances. These clubs promote support from not only teachers and staff, but from students their ages as well. All schools should have a designated safe space available so that sexual minority students have somewhere to go if they're experiencing issues or just need extra support. Lastly, schools should offer services to accommodate LGBTQ students, for these can be psychological or social services to help students feel comfortable in their own skin and cope with possible prior negative thoughts. Thank you for your time, and I hope you gained useful knowledge that you could possibly implement one day. If anybody has any questions or comments, you can email me at the email presented on the screen. Thank you.